於是爸爸拎咗個相機出嚟啦，就幫嗰個3個小朋友啦，即係個女明星啦、佢個妹啦，同埋嗰個上車嘅小朋友，就3個人影咗張相。咁其中嗰個上車嘅小朋友就企喺中間嘅。咁好啦，影咗張相，咁就個小朋友走咗啦。咁佢過咗好多好多年之後，10幾年之後，個女明星咧就攞翻當時去旅行啲相咧就出嚟睇，結果就睇到呢張相。咁嗰張相入邊，佢兩姊妹係冇問題嘅，仲喺張相入邊嘅。但係嗰個細蚊女喺張相入邊，竟然係長大咗嘅，變咗一個20幾歲嘅女仔。翁靜晶，危險人物2.0，歡迎大家嚟到危險人物2.0。今日咧要講嘅一件案件咧，屬於係好危險嘅事件，但係咧佢又唔係真正一件案喎。不過你都可以叫做一個慘案。呢一宗案件咧，一路以嚟喺我成長嘅階段中咧，其實都對我係幾大困擾嘅。咁我1964年出世啦，咁我到咗大概6、7歲嘅時候，就開始聽我阿馬姐阿英姐咧，就不斷咁講呢個古仔。呢個古仔咧就係關於大埔嘅猛鬼橋嘅。咁其實呢一個故事咧，由細到大我都聽咗好多次。阿英姐咧講親咧都盈盈倍聲嘅。咁到我長大咗之後咧，我係親身去到呢一個地方，去到呢個所謂嘅猛鬼橋嗰度咧，就係睇過嘅。咁而咧當時個感覺都好震撼。諗翻起就係成個慘案咧，再加埋我喺大概90年代嘅時候，我做咗一個電視節目啦，就係女人心，嗰陣時係有線電視嘅。咁我嗰陣時係請咗一個女演員嘉賓啦，個女明星上嚟我節目嗰度嘅。咁呢個女明星佢講咗個古仔，咁就更加加深咧我對於呢個洪水橋嘅恐懼。佢個古仔係咁嘅，佢就話咧有一晚夜晚，佢同佢爸爸同埋佢個細妹，咁就一家4口咧就去完郊外嗰度旅行。咁於是乎咧嗰陣時係冇吐露港公路噶嘛，咁佢哋一家4口就坐住車，爸爸揸車，媽媽坐前邊，兩姊妹，咁就見到前邊有一個細蚊女就喺度截車。咁於是爸爸就停咗架車，就將呢個大概7、8歲同佢哋差唔多大嘅細蚊女就接咗上車。上咗車之後，爸爸就話：喂，你咁夜嘅小朋友，你點解會喺度啊？咁小朋友話：我蕩失咗路啊，唔見咗爸爸媽媽。咁佢就問佢：你住喺邊度？咁佢講得出個地址啊，係九龍某區嘅。應該嗰陣時我記得好似係深水埗嗰帶嘅。咁於是個爸爸就話：好啦，咁我車你翻屋企啦咁樣。咁於是喺車上面咧，嗰3個小朋友咧就坐咗喺後邊。咁啱啱上車嗰個就坐喺中間。咁幾個小朋友好開心嘅。咁一路就嘅車駛嚟咗呢個大埔坳，即係松仔園嗰度附近，即係猛鬼橋嗰度附近上車啦。上咗之後就一路就離開咗嗰條路，就車到個小蚊女咧就翻到去佢自己住嘅地方。到咗步之後，個爸爸就話：你到啦喎，你快啲落車啦！咁個小朋友咧就話：我可唔可以玩多一陣啊？咁樣咁唔得啊，已經好夜啦，你一定要翻屋企啦咁樣。咁於是咁佢就好啦，嗱，你哋落車，我同你哋大家影一張相，影完你要翻去啦咁樣。咁於是爸爸拎咗個相機出嚟啦，就幫嗰個3個小朋友啦，即係個女明星啦、佢個妹啦，同埋嗰個上車嘅小朋友，就3個人影咗張相。咁其中嗰個上車嘅小朋友就企喺中間嘅。咁好啦，影咗張相，咁就個小朋友走咗啦。咁佢過咗好多好多年之後，10幾年之後，個女明星咧就攞翻當時去旅行啲相咧就出嚟睇，結果就睇到呢張相。咁嗰張相入邊，佢兩姊妹係冇問題嘅，仲喺張相入邊嘅。但係嗰個細蚊女喺張相入邊，竟然係長大咗嘅，變咗一個20幾歲嘅女仔。咁於是佢哋就好驚啊，成家人就驚到不得了，就跟住就將嗰本相簿係燒咗嘅。咁呢個古仔，我諗如果你有睇我嗰個澳門奇案 BBQ 咧，你都會睇到喺入邊講過嘅。咁好啦，咁我要講翻咧，點解呢個猛鬼橋咁多故事咧？咁個原因咧就係來自咧1955年發生嘅一個慘案。咁件事咧就係發生喺1955年嘅8月28日嘅。咁嗰日咧就係一個星期日嚟嘅。咁亦都好近咧個暑假，差唔多係結束啦。咁咧就有間學校就係基督教嘅聖雅各學校，咁就帶咗佢哋好多學生咧就喺嗰度旅行。咁而當其時咧係有一個不幸中嘅大幸咧，就係其中有好多男學生咧。咁佢哋係跟住個老師就喺個松仔園嗰度繼續佢哋嘅旅行啦。但係有好多女學生喺嗰個時候咧，就去咗附近一間孤兒院嗰度。松仔園嗰時附近有間孤兒院嘅，就女學生就去咗松仔園嗰個孤兒院度參觀。咁啊留翻班男仔咧就喺嗰度游水啊玩啊咁樣。咁嗰日係風和日麗嘅。咁嗱呢個風和日麗咧，咁一陣間我會再提係有咩關鍵性嘅。 咁就因為咧嗰度起咗個石碑，石碑入邊咧都有講到風和日麗呢一樣嘢嘅。咁其實最簡單嘅講法咧，就係呢一個地方你望落去咧係山明水秀，你會見到有啲潭咧，游水嗰啲水潭咧係會好吸引你，好想去呢個水潭嗰度咧去游水啊、浸水啊，好想好吸引你入去嘅。而且四周圍咧你會覺得好平靜嘅。咁但係咧呢個地方恐怖嘅地方就係喺呢個平靜中間佢有暗湧嘅。咁好啦。咁8月28號嗰日星期日，咁除咗聖雅各呢班嘅小朋友同學校嘅老師嚟旅行啦，留低喺度嘅多數係男仔啦。咁除此之外，仲有咧呢個九廣鐵路嘅職工，佢哋都啱啱好咧就不約而同咁樣去到呢個地方旅行。咁啲職工亦都有帶埋佢自己啲小朋友去嗰度旅行嘅。咁喺嗰日大家都好開心喺度游水，有啲釣魚啊，有啲游水喺嗰帶喺度玩嘅時候咧，突然之間就落起大雨，而嗰啲大雨咧，根據當時嘅形容咧，就係落得好急。好急嘅，而且打落個身度咧係痛嘅。咁而聽到咧四周圍啲山咧，好似會發出哮叫聲咁樣嘅，有啲山崩地裂嘅聲嘅，好得人驚嚇嘅，係突然間嘅，即係嗰個天係由風和日麗好太陽，砰一聲變嘅。咁喺呢個時候咧，咁有啲人咧就已經話：我哋快啲走啦，去避雨啦。咁錯就錯在咧，其實啲人全部都係睇到嗰個石躉橋，個石躉橋個面積比較大嘅。咁所有人都睇中咗條橋，而全部去晒嗰條橋底下邊咧就避雨。咁啲老師亦都帶埋啲細蚊仔落去，九廣鐵路啲職工又帶埋啲家人咧去嗰度避雨。一入咗去嗰度避雨之後，四周圍嘅山洪係同一時間砰一聲冧落嚟，啲水係大到不得了，而且係帶埋啲石頭咁衝落嚟嘅。咁當其時喺嗰度避雨嘅人，基本上係全部被衝落去，全部被衝晒去下邊個海嗰度，一路衝出去。大埔吐露港海，從嗰度一路從啲水渠衝出去，而因為嗰啲石頭係好犀利咁樣衝落嚟，啲細蚊仔個個都係啱啱中學生14歲到嘅，有啲係仲更加可能係細少少嘅，最大嗰個咧都係20歲嘅啫，啲罹難者20零歲嗰啲都係講係老師同家長。咁喺呢個時候，全部就咁樣就全部衝走晒啦。有啲當時在場附近嗰啲村民咧，佢哋講係冇得救嘅，係快到嗰個速度係冇得救嘅。咁好快咁就啲屍體就已經全部咧就喺下邊個湖嗰度揾到啦。咁全部衝晒落下邊個湖。咁而家咧嗰個湖咧就當然係俾人叫做猛鬼湖啦。咁但係當其時又叫甜蜜湖嘅。咁而家嗰個湖嘅地方咧亦都做咗個豪宅啦，即係地圖山。基本上大部分嘅屍體咧都係喺嗰個湖嗰度咧，即係地圖山嗰個位咧就揾到翻晒嘅。咁當初開始嘅時候咧係揾到大概20至21具屍體嘅，唔係一下子揾晒嘅。咁就一路喺度就繼續揾，最後嗰個屍體係去到案發之後5日之後咧，先至喺啲石罅嗰度卡住咧揾到翻嚟嘅。咁嗰個咧就係呢個九廣鐵路嘅職工叫梁海，佢係滅蟲組嘅咁樣。咁好啦，咁呢件事發生咗之後咧，咁就成個大埔都震撼晒啦。咁亦都咧好多家長咧喊到不得了啦，入邊好慘啦，有一個淨寡母破手仔啦，得一個獨子，即係非常之凄慘。而當時嗰啲屍體咧係細佬哥搭細佬哥嘅。咁如果以而家嘅尺度咧，你睇嗰啲新聞咧就應該唔會睇得到噶啦。但係你睇翻以前1955年嘅新聞咧，你會睇到係非常之得人驚，好震撼嘅。咁入邊咧，亦都呢件事入邊咧，都有一啲感人嘅事件嘅。咁就當中有一個小朋友啦，咁佢都係去嗰度旅行嘅。咁佢當事發嘅時候，佢就好機警，死命咁抱住棵大樹。咁佢自己抱住棵大樹咧，如果有辦法可以拉到5、6個佢自己嗰啲同學仔咧，應該救咗5個嘅。咁就令到佢哋冇俾水沖去嘅。咁但係好不幸嘅咧，就係佢自己個細妹就冇辦法被救啦，個細妹就沖走咗啦。咁所以呢件事咧喺55年發生啦，到6幾年、7幾年。我哋成長嗰個年代咧，都係不斷有家長講嘅，咁所以我由細到大都係唔准去旅行嘅。咁就因為呢一件事，我媽媽好擔心，就唔准去參加學校嘅旅行嘅。咁亦都影響咗我咧，就唔俾我啲細佬哥去旅行嘅。所以我2個女亦都係冇參加過學校旅行嘅。咁所以你可以睇呢件事，其實對我係好大震撼。咁喺案發嘅地方咧，亦都立咗一個碑，就係叫做怒水橋洪流兆禍記。咁入邊記載咗咧，就係件事嘅發生。總共咧係死咗28個人，主要都係小朋友，都有大人。咁尤其是學生嘅老師嚇，咁咧就有個一家4口咧，都係呢一次去旅行去釣魚，咁就冇埋嘅。咁基本上就係去釣魚嘅人啦，呢個九廣鐵路職工會啦，同埋聖雅各學校嘅。 咁喺個碑入邊咧，其實就講得好清楚，就係話你千祈唔好相信呢個地方嘅山明水秀、風和日麗，因為係可以突變嘅。咁呢個地方好出名咧，就係佢嘅天氣突變。咁再推返前啲咧，咁原來咧做咗啲考究啊。咁原來戰前咧嗰度咧就係叫做松仔園嘅一個水庫。喺嗰度起水庫嘅時候咧，戰前就已經有幾十個工人咧遇到同一個情況，就係喺呢一個風和日麗嘅突然間天就突變咧。就死咗幾十人嘅，咁所以呢一個怒水橋咧，啲水係叫怒水嘅原因就係因為突然間會好大嘅洪流落嚟，已經係發生過慘案㗎啦。咁喺死咗28個人嘅呢個慘案之後咧，咁就一路呢個地方都好多傳聞啦，咁就有好多意外發生啦。一年之後有一架運菜車碌落山啦，又死咗好多人啦，就應該係6死8傷啦，如果冇記錯。咁跟住亦都好多嗰啲好致命啊、好奇特嘅車禍咧，都喺呢條路上面發生嘅。咁喺呢一件事發生咗之後，亦都有好多人見到咧喺個車，即係喺呢個路上面有小朋友截車嘅，成日都見到小朋友截車。但係奇怪在就係啲小朋友上咗車之後咧，去到路口咧，你再望咧，佢就唔喺度噶啦。咁呢一啲怪事咧係不停喺呢個5幾年到7幾年中間係有呢啲傳聞嘅。咁當然嗰塊碑立喺嗰度咧，就係由七約嗰個7條村啦、七約啦，佢哋嗰啲村民啊、嗰啲鄉公所咧去立嘅，就希望咧記載呢件事，等大家記得，咁亦都等啲亡靈安息嘅。咁當然啦，即係我就都成日都會去睇下塊碑嘅。咁但係我睇到呢塊碑咧，喺我應該我第一次去係80年代啦，7幾年係7幾年尾80年代我第一次去咧。我記得嗰塊碑上邊咧都係好鮮明咁寫晒死難者個名嘅。咁但係過幾年我都會再去睇嘅。咁直至到最近我再睇嘅時候咧，嗰塊碑咧就有好顯著嘅變化。咁我亦都覺得比較難過嘅。咁原因就係點解咧？55年到而家嗰啲學生家長，包括我頭先講嗰個寡母婆冇咗個仔嘅，佢哋都已經老晒死晒啦嘛，冇晒人啦。咁所以冇咗爸爸媽媽嘅愛護之下咧，呢一塊嘅石碑咧，亦都係甩晒色。咁我就去嗰度睇咗，咁其實都覺得比較唏噓嘅。咁我拍咗啲片嘅，咁我俾你睇下。你記唔記得咧？15年前咧，我同你嚟過呢度㗎。
Yes，
你記得係嘛？
我記得，係。
嗰陣時有個伯伯，你記唔記得啊？老人家一個老嘅伯伯，咁佢同我哋傾偈嘅，咁佢同我哋傾偈咧，就帶咗我哋後邊嗰度睇嗰啲水流落嚟嘅。係以前呢間屋咧冇咁靚嘅，之前好似係一個山洞入邊一個士多咁樣嘅，咁啊伯伯咧就喺呢一度咁樣嘅，咁而家佢搭大咗咯，咁但係之前係一個好似山洞咁樣，咁講咗15年啦，而家都唔知喺咪喺度啦，我埋去睇下。你留意下咧，其實呢個士多咧喺個石嘅窿入邊嘅，你睇到個大石咧，佢係啱啱好入邊有個窿嘅。咁佢之前就有一間細間嘅士多仔咧，就喺個窿入邊嘅。應該唔喺度。10幾年前啊，嗰陣時佢都好大年紀噶啦。嗰陣時都係kind of elderly already. Now, I'm going to show you something which I have shown you before. 10幾年嚟，我成日都嚟呢度嘅，我同佢都嚟咗幾次噶啦。每一次嚟我都想喊嘅，今次個心更加想喊。你睇下呢塊碑，而家所有上面啲名都甩晒啦。呢度上邊有好多小朋友嘅。1955年嘅時候發生咗嗰件慘案，死咗28個人，入邊其中有20個係小朋友嚟嘅。呢塊墓碑上邊曾經係好鮮豔咁樣寫低晒佢哋每一個小朋友、每一個死難者嘅名嘅。咁但係你睇下而家，你見到呢啲已經係你見到個林啦，你見到一啲字啦，但係你見到上面嗰啲紅色嘅漆油已經全部都冇晒。你知唔知點解啊？因為佢哋嘅爸爸媽媽都已經唔喺度啦，冇人會幫佢哋再嚟呢度寫翻啲顏色上去噶啦。我哋而家想知道原本嗰座碑係點嘅樣呢？都係睇翻上網嗰啲圖片嘅咋，真係人走茶涼。我估唔到今日嚟呢一度呢，已經相隔我上一次嚟都已經有幾年噶啦。我估唔到真係好似我諗咁樣，真係一啲都冇人理啦。 所以世間上最愛你嘅永遠都係你嘅父母。點解會咁樣嘅原因就係因為父母都唔喺度啦。嗰陣時老伯伯話俾我哋聽呢，就話佢聽到好大聲，好多人叫救命。嗰陣時佢都後生仔嚟，佢就出嚟，佢就掹咗幾個細蚊仔救起咗幾個，但係呢，都好多就衝晒落去晒嗰邊，一路喺呢度下邊，跟住啲水道咁出去海嗰邊嘅。咁同埋呢，你留意呢個地方呢，你望下呢個地方呢係好靚嘅。嗰陣時呢，聽見話呢，有啲人呢就喺度玩水啊，完全呢，發生事嘅嗰日，本來係風和日麗嘅，陽光普照，係突然之間變天呢，完全措手不及，咁樣就發生意外嘅。因為如果天氣都話唔好，啲人都唔會旅行啊嘛，係咪？嗱，你睇下呢一度啊，我俾你望一望呢度啦。你睇下嗰個湖啊，嗰頭湖水啊，你而家望落去呢，你都想去嗰度玩水嘅，會唔會啊？你睇下幾靚。相信事發嘅嗰日嘅之前呢，就有而家咁靚咯，有而家咁平靜啦。咁所以呢，後期呢，出嚟關於呢個地方呢，有人叫做洪水橋，有人叫做猛鬼橋呢，都講呢話你唔好俾佢呢個樣呃到你咯。佢呢個樣係呃你入去玩嘅，你喺嗰度玩水啊，你喺嗰度嚇。你睇下呢個樣仲唔係吸引你去咩？你睇下幾靚。I actually am thinking whether or not that day when the accident happened, which by report, or if you look at the report, they say it was calm, it was sunny, and all of a sudden,
Yes.
the weather turned bad. Is that also in the English press?
Yeah, they said a cloud came in, and it was a surprise flash flood. It started dropping rain into the streams above. I mean, people were like literally on the rocks when the water came rushing in.
And there were two adults, I think husband and wife, also lost their life in the incident.
Mm.
You can imagine how sad the parents were. It is just an unimaginable pain. There was one story, a brother. There were an elder brother and a sister.
Mm.
They were part of the picnic people, part of the picnic students.
Mm.
And the elder brother was quick enough to grab a branch of the tree.
Mm.
So he got himself out on the rock and he managed to save 5 of the fellow picnickers.
Oh, really?
But he lost his own sister. The younger sister was drowned and flushed all the way out. You know, what he did was reported in the press, and of course it's going to be very traumatic for him for life. You know, he couldn't get his own sister.
Mm. Still, he saved 5 people.
He did. I wonder what happened to Papa. Every time we come here, we weren't able to see him, remember? Only the first time we managed to see him and he told us a story about what happened.
Mm.
And then every time we come here, he's not around.
So, you see the nice clear water? So this is all dry. You could actually move from rock to rock and go up. There seems to be another rock pool behind this one.
Seriously, get out. I'm scared.
Why? Do you want to go check it out?
No, leave. I'm scared.
It's a bright sunny day.
It was a bright sunny day on that day too.
There's
Let's
no
go.
clouds, okay?
I'm scared. I'm so scared. Let's go.
Are you serious?
Let's go.
All right, but there's another rock pool behind this. This is probably our last chance to go see it.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
You want me to go and take a picture?
No.
All right. Go back then.
This is exactly what's trying to pull people in. 好驚啊！佢話落嚟喎，我真係驚啊！我快啲走啦！誒，唔好搞我，我匿埋，我
There's some
走
garbage
先，
here
我
they
行
need to
先，
clean
匿
up.
埋先。
Hey, look, there's little fish. Hmm.
有 fish 咩？
Yeah, they got tiny fish here. The underpass where you told me where they tried to gather. So this will drop into a big drainage system, I believe. Or if not a drain, at least some sort of waterway.
Come back.
You want to come along? I can get you over here. Yeah. So there's human belongings underneath the bridge.
What's inside?
You got some boxes on that side.
What's inside?
There's a big arch where all the water will flood into, and then it looks like it runs that way. Should we check it out? Right here. Okay. All right, now step there.
Oh, I don't want to go.
Stop playing around.
I don't want to go.
Too bad.
No.
All right. All right. So you see?
It's so scary.
Now, if you can jump there, we can finish it.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
I see already. It's there. It's the arch. Oh, it's very scary.
And there's stairs.
All right, bye bye. I'm getting back. 鬼仔真係鬼仔啊！你唔同人咁品嘅，叫佢唔好，而家連影都唔見埋。喂，佢好似唔知有啲咩叫結界嘅喎。翻嚟啊！已經等咗好耐啦，冇晒影啊！翻嚟啊！點啊？喂，而家咁係咪去揾佢啊？我都唔知點揾啊！佢喺嗰度爬咗過去，點揾啊？睇下打唔打到佢電話先。見到啦，見到啦，見到啦！我明明見到你，你唔聽我電話嚇？你真係想我好擔心係嘛你？我睇到你啊，你又特登唔聽電話㗎，你望下我，你唔接啊你。嗱，睇到佢出嚟啦，喺嗰度嚟啊！你好嘢啊你。
Yeah, okay.
What's wrong with you?
You weren't behind me.
What's wrong with you? I almost called the police.
Who?
I almost called the police.
Why?
You disappeared.
Did you see the picture I sent?
What pictures?
Of
You
the
didn't answer my
waterfall.
phone.
Huh?
You didn't answer my phone. Pretending to be sending me pictures.
I did.
All right. Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
有個瀑布喺上邊。
Yeah.
OK。
And I think you got a rainbow.
有條彩虹添啊！有條彩虹添喎。我哋落到嚟迪圖山啊，即係由頭先嗰個位咧，大埔坳個位一路就落到嚟呢度，你睇下，呢度就係出去就係大海嚟嘅，嗰度就係嗰條鐵路九廣鐵路嗰條橋。呢條橋係新㗎啦，肯定嗰陣時唔係咁㗎啦。咁就同埋咧，我哋一陣會入去入邊咧，嗰個叫迪圖湖咧，就係嗰個佢哋又叫做猛鬼湖嗰個地方啊，即係有部分嘅細蚊仔衝咗去個湖嗰度，有部分係衝喺呢度，有部分係出海咁樣咯。
You were telling me that some people have seen ghosts here.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories about that, and there's a lake they call the Haunted Lake, which we can see from the restaurant. I don't think they'll be pleased for us to talk about that in the restaurant, but anyway, we just go and have a drink. Don't say anything, okay?
I don't know, after a couple of drinks, well, we'll see what happens.
我唔會啊，我真係唔夠膽啊！個個都覺得我係女俠啊，咩都夠膽做啊，其實唔係嘅，我都好細膽㗎，仲要爬落個湖度啊，唔掂。咧呢個啊，呢個啊，呢個乜都夠膽㗎呢個。喂，頭先個 uncle 話你唔好爬落去啊，聽唔聽到啊？
我聽到啊。
呢個猛鬼湖啊，haunted lake 啊。
Ah.
A lot of children's body were found in here. It was quite a long way, huh?
You'd never know it.
So sad. You would never even imagine this is related to that, yeah?
Yeah.
即係完全都冇可能將呢個咁靚嘅地方同嗰件事相關啊！即係好似頭先我哋去嗰度咧，如果唔講，你覺得嗰度好靚啫嘛？你唔知咁樣嘅。呢度咧，你見到好多橋底啦，好多呢啲位啦。咁嗰陣時喺山上面啲細蚊仔衝落嚟嘅時候咧，一路撞到好多石啊，撞到好多橋墩啊，跟住就嚟到呢個位。咁呢度咧後邊仲有個湖嘅，就同地圖山嗰邊連住嘅。咁佢而家裝修咗整咗，就有啲分隔開啦。但係其實以前都係連得到嘅。呢度其實你睇到都係好靚好靜，但係都係冇辦法可以諗到呢兩樣嘢咁恐怖嘅意外可以連埋一齊嘅。呢度都好多石，因為其實啲水唔係咁深咧，撞到啲石真係好可憐。咁咧就去到呢度咧，我哋都想睇下嗰個碑究竟係邊個嘅站啦。咁如果係咩政府部門嘅站都好，如果錢係一個問題嘅咧，咁咧我哋何東家仲係好願意出錢去遊翻個碑嘅。咁幾多錢我哋都願意俾。咁就想知道係邊個部門，咁揾邊一位，點樣負責。咁因為點樣都好，呢個都係公家嘅物件啦，即係我哋唔能夠貿貿然咁入去自己遊翻佢噶，係咪？咁好希望有關當局會睇到我哋呢一個請求啦。咁如果你哋做當然最好啦，但係如果係錢嘅問題咧，咁我哋都好願意出一分力嘅。 各位小朋友、各位家長、各位當年嘅殉難者，我哋冇忘記到你嘅。我哋重新將個碑做好咗佢，警惕世人將來唔會再發生同樣嘅災難。你哋嘅犧牲係永遠都會記得。好，我哋裝住香，咁我哋就開碑啦。再一次多謝文大俠，多謝各位鄉親父老、叔伯兄弟，多謝大家嘅支持。
都係翁小姐功德無量，佢嘅概念先育成呢件事嘅。從來我哋行山過都冇諗到啊，有件咁嘅事要做嘅，真㗎。呢個衷心講嘅。
多謝。
希望全香港都係順順利利。
係咯，順利利咯。
冇咁多災害啦。
係咯，即係有個關懷，有個愛心，無論佢喺度或者係仙遊，有個關懷愛心，始終都係好過冇啊！
呢個一定啦，係啊，係咪？仲好多謝你添啊！有咁嘅意念去做件咁嘅事，我哋行山都好多人嘅，冇人會諗呢啲樣嘢嘅。我哋好中意呢個行山，我哋村都好多人嘅，邊會諗到去收集呢個碑咧？嗱，好坦白，人係自私，自己嘅祖墳嘅碑就一定會整。呢啲行過就算嘅，係你諗到嘅啫。所以我都覺得好有意義，要配合你去做好呢件事。
多謝你啊！多謝你啊！
總之以後有咩整，你話俾我聽。
多謝，
我一定全力配合嘅。
多謝。
係啊。
真係呢個真係無限功德啊！因為咧，其實咧，世界上咧公認嘅4大慈善之一咧，呢個就係其中一個啦。咁咧，第一個咧就係教育啦。第二咧就係扶貧啦，第三就係醫藥啦，第四咧就係呢啲修葺墓碑同埋一啲嘅紀念碑，咁係4大慈善工業之一嘅事業之一咁樣嘅。多謝你啦，多謝你啦。咁呢件事咧去到呢個位咧，即係都係叫做功德圓滿啦。咁我好多謝喺呢件事入邊出力嘅人啦。咁我相信唔淨止我一個咧，成日都對呢件事記得嘅。咁我諗同我哋咁嘅年紀嘅人，甚至比我大少少嘅，都會記得呢件慘案。咁我哋睇到而家個碑已經係全部油翻晒，整翻好晒。咁有句説話咧，就係叫做幼吾幼以及人之幼啊嘛。雖然啲細路哥唔係我哋嘅，咁但係本着一個父母心，我哋都希望可以做翻少少嘢。咁亦都紀念呢一件事。咁等大家咧喺郊遊嘅時候都會知道咧，天有不測之風雲。咁希望你哋中意呢個比較奇特啲嘅危險人物。如果你喜歡呢一集嘅話，請你 subscribe 同埋share， 仲有就俾個 like 我啦。